Next one then is a balance transfer error. This is very, very similar to the one that we did before previously. So here you've been told that a balance on the petty cash account was included in the trial balance as £600. It should have been £550. The corresponding credit entries were correctly included in the trial balance. So the difference is here, this was that the T account wasn't correctly balanced. But ultimately, the T account goes into the trial balance. So they're almost the same, to be honest. This one, it's telling you that it was included in the trial balance incorrectly. So it was included at the trial balance as 600. So it went in as a debit of 600 because petty cash is an asset. So if you think of your, sorry, that's a T account. If you think of your trial balance, debit side, petty cash. It's gone in the trial balance at 600 and it should have been 550. So how would we make that figure £550? Well, we would credit it £50. So credit cash, petty cash £50. Where would the other half of the double entry be? The only other place it could be would be debit £50 to the suspense account. Okay, so this one, it's not really that you've got to do any faffing, it's reading it carefully. So this one is called a balance omission. This means that the balance never got put into the trial balance. So imagine your trial balance again. I should have perhaps printed a little trial balance off. So if you've got electric, sales, rent, but then somebody misses a T account out, of course it's not going to balance. So then you're going to end up with a suspense account. So this is when somebody's discovered what wasn't pulled through to the trial balance. So discounts received balance of £350 was unintentionally excluded from the trial balance. The corresponding debit balance was correctly included in the general ledger. So this is telling you the other half of everything to do with this has been included, but this balance hasn't been put into your trial balance. Is discounts received a debit or a credit? It's a credit because it's discounts received. Think of it as like receiving money, like receiving sales. So to put that into the trial balance, it would be on the credit side. So we would be crediting discounts received, 350. Where's the other half of the double entry? Because you've been told everything else to do with it was done correctly. So the other half would be debit, suspense, 350. Transposition then. This is where a number has been written down incorrectly. So this is where you have done a debit and a credit and they probably have gone to the right places, but when you've done your debits and your credits, your numbers don't actually match. So, and this is why it would get thrown up by your trial balance, because if you've debited 100 but credited 80, there's going to be a difference of £20 between the two. So a purchase return is recorded correctly in the purchase ledger control account as £402, but incorrectly in purchase returns as 420. Sorry, folks. So what did happen? Well, what happened was it's a purchase return. Purchase ledger control account is a liability. A purchase return would make your liability smaller, so we would be debiting purchase ledger control account. And that was £402. Credit purchase returns, 420. That's what happened. What should have happened? Well, we've been told that the correct amount is £402. So the actual T accounts used were correct. It's the amounts that were incorrect. Okay, so how are we going to correct it? So look at what we've got. Debit PLCA 402, debit PLCA 402. So are we happy they match? Okay. So what we've got at the moment for our purchase returns is we've got a credit of 420 and we want that to be a credit of 402. So how do we make a credit balance smaller? By debiting the difference. So we want to debit 18. So debit purchase returns 18. So if you were to balance that T account off now, you would end up overall with 402 on the credit side, which is what we want. Debit purchase returns 18 then is what we've done. Where will the other half be? Because we know that the other bit's correct because we ticked it off. So the other half has got to be credit suspense £18.